Okay, so get yourself ready for your morning practice. Sit yourself on a lift and just feel that you are sitting evenly, and there's a consciousness to that levelness that gives you some grounding energy. So feel how your feet connect to the ground. Feel how your feet connect to the ground. Feel how the seat bones connect to the ground. So perhaps you observe that the front foot attaches to the ground differently to the back foot. So the front foot, it's very much around the front of the ankle bone, whereas on the back foot, maybe it's the outside edge of the foot, and maybe not so much into the heel. But just observe that. See if you can bring the outer blade of the heel of the foot into the floor. So rather than just letting it flop into the floor, try and activate it. Bring both feet into that sensation of levelness. Feel that there's levelness at the seat bones. And if there isn't, then adjust. Just move the buttock flesh back and out to the side if you need to. Or just if you only want to go on a cushion like this, just adjust. So feel that the feet are working evenly. Hold onto your knees and elevate the heart area up to the ceiling. Drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Look down at the floor, look at something that isn't moving. Allow your eyes to become still in the sockets. Consciously soften your jaw. Consciously soften your tongue. Soften your throat. So as you soften your tongue especially, perhaps you observe that there is a release around the forehead and around the eyes. Consciously soften the gums. And keep them soft. Release your hands, bring your hands into Namaste. Press the palms firmly together. Lengthen your armpits away from your elbows. The elbows away from the heels of the hands. Or the elbows into the heels of the hands, sorry. So lengthen the armpits from the elbows, lengthen the elbows into the heels of the hands, and from the heels of the hands lengthen into the fingertips, and observe that as you do so, that encourages lift of the spine. Allow your eyes to gently close, keeping the jaw soft, the tongue and the throat and the gums soft. So you have to really consciously observe and activate. Focus on filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. Filling the lungs evenly and allowing the chest to expand with the out-breath. And emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom. We carry a lot of anxiety in the forehead and around the eyes, and especially around the jaw. So consciously softening that area. With an exhalation, draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin. Spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area, and then very gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Connect the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb, just a gesture of wisdom, peacefulness, and physical intelligence that we can carry into our practice. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Just hold on to your knees. Just observe whether there's any changes in the way that you're sitting, whether the feet are connecting to the floor any differently. Just work to reset and find balance. Just let the feet just go kind of effectively idle, just flop into the floor. And then there's an instant kind of drop in the energy of the body. So drawing those blades of the feet down into the floor, it's almost like you can push them into the floor so that then you can lift up into the chest. Almost like you're going to stand up. I mean, obviously you're not going to stand up. You can't really stand up from this position at all. But there's that energy of connection of the outside edge of the feet that really gives you additional energy up in the upper body. Just hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest. Again, drawing the shoulders down away from your ears. Just look forwards. Just look at something that doesn't move. And then with an exhalation, draw your chin forwards and down to meet the chest. Bring the chest up to meet the chin. Draw the shoulders consciously down away from your ears, lengthening out the back of the neck. Raise your head up to the ceiling, pushing the chin to the sky. Feeling the stretch of the front of the neck, just letting the back of the neck be soft. With an exhalation, come back to the center and then bring the chin down to meet the chest. Again, maintaining the feet so that you can lift in the chest. You can lift the chest towards the chin. Draw the shoulders down away from your ears to lengthen out the back of the neck. Take a deep inhalation and then with the following exhalation, raise the chin to the ceiling. And then with an exhalation, come back to the front, just look forward. Lift up into the chest, elevate the heart area to the ceiling, draw your shoulders down, take a deep inhalation in through the nose, and then draw the right ear over towards the right shoulder, feeling that intense stretch at the left side of the neck. Keeping the shoulders down, keeping the blades of the feet pressing into the floor so that the spine becomes lifted. Just observing at the seat bones whether you're leaning over to one side or you're maintaining your balance between the two seat bones. With an exhalation, come back to the center and then over to the left. So you're not going to bring your ear down all the way down, because you probably won't be able to. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Just feel that stretch of the right side of the neck. Just maintain your balance. Use the feeling of the pose to maintain your balance. So do you roll over onto that left seat bone, or can you keep balance even between the two seat bones? Come back to the center. Take a deep inhalation and then reach the right ear across towards the right shoulder. Again, just being conscious of your connection to the ground, of the balance of the seat bones, the lift of the chest, the stretch of that left side of the neck. Take a deep inhalation, and with an exhalation, come back over to the other side. Take a deep inhalation and then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees really consciously and elevate the heart area upwards, keeping the blades of the feet really firmly connected to the ground. Feel that the seat bones are level. Take a deep inhalation and then turn consciously to the right. Draw the abdomen across and the ribs and the shoulders, elevating the heart area upwards. Come back to the center. Hold onto the knees, just reset your balance. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Draw in the abdomen across the ribs and the shoulders. And then gently come back to the center. Come off the lift and then sit back on your heels. Have the big toes together, knees apart, and just sit down on the heels. Just feel how that stretches out the fronts of the calves. If you're not used to it, it can feel really uncomfortable on the tops of the feet, but you get used to it fairly quickly. But what's really nice once you are used to it, you can always put some like a little lift, like a folded blanket underneath the shins if it is uncomfortable. But if once you are used to it, just allow that feeling of openness to happen into the shins. So just bring that, just welcome the feeling of the shins on the floor, and then consciously press the shin bone into the shin skin so that you feel that the thighs also activate. When the legs are activated, then we can lift up into the chest with greater efficiency. So elevate the heart area upwards, keep the head lifted, and then come forwards, hinging at the hips, stretching the arms out, spreading the fingers, spreading the palms, keep the seat bones down on the heels if you can. Just keep looking forwards at your hands at this stage, lifting the chest, stretching the arms away, keeping them straight, locking the outer elbows in, and then bring the forehead down. Aim to maintain that connection between the seat bones and the heels. Listen to the breath. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Come up onto your knees, have your fingers as wide apart, have your little fingers on the edge of the mat. Stretch your thumbs towards each other, have your feet as wide apart as the mat, and then come up into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Work to straighten the legs. Tighten the kneecaps. Hit the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Turn the fronts of the legs inwards so that the heels start to separate. Aim to lift the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs. If you can't do that, if they won't lift, if they won't budge, and if you can't turn the tailbone up to the ceiling, then bend your knees. Bend your knees, and then find that you'll have more space to lift the seat bones. And the shoulder blades should come in. And then straighten the legs. Let the head hang down. Just let the head be soft. Let the facial muscles be soft. Allow gravity to draw the skin of the face down to the floor. Just let the facial muscles completely relax. Let the neck relax. But keep the physical pose continually adjusting. Aim for internal balance. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. Emptying them from the top to the bottom. Step your feet forwards. Just come up into the standing position. And then have 2 blocks for your hands if you're only doing half uttanasana. Otherwise we're going to do full uttanasana. Have your feet as wide apart as the mat. Feet as wide apart as the mat. So feel that your heels are in contact with the edge of the mat. Feel that the little toes are in contact with the mat. And then if you look down, your big toes will be closer together than your heels. That's what we want, because it starts to turn the fronts of the legs inwards. That gives us loads of space to come forwards. It gives us space in the hips. So activate the legs, tighten the kneecaps, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, have your hands on your hips, lift up into the chest, and then keeping the head lifted, keeping the back straight. Come forwards, hinging at the hips, and then come halfway, so that the body is parallel to the floor as much as you can. Keeping the head lifted all the time. And if you've got a bad back, you can go to the blocks, like so. But if you're not, or if your back feels okay today, then keep coming forwards. Bring your hands back onto your hips, keep coming forwards, and then hang the arms down to the floor, hook the thumbs into the elbows, wrap your fingers around your elbows, and then hang down. Keep the legs firmly activating, lifting the kneecaps, lifting the thighs, pushing the fronts of the thighs through the backs of the thighs. So I felt really sinusy this weekend, and like really like tension in the sinuses and in the kind of head that causes headaches. So I've kind of suffered from quite a lot of sinusitis in my time, and it has felt like it's returned. And this pose, just letting the top of the body give in to gravity, this has been really helpful in just relieving the tension. So Uttanasana is quiet and imposed, but you have to keep the legs firmly activated in order to give you length in the spine. Then let the facial muscles just totally relax and almost slide down your face, or slide up your face towards the forehead. Let the neck be soft. Let the back of the neck be soft. Feel that the legs are working with evenness. That both legs are working as mirror images of each other. Or does one feel longer than the other? Bring your hands down onto the floor, and then come into half Uttanasana. Lift the chest. Use the blocks if you need them, or if you haven't got blocks handy, just bring your hands onto your shins and extend the chin and the chest forwards. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Move the blocks out of the way. Walk your hands towards the far end of the mat. Bring your hands shoulder width apart this time, and then step the feet hip width apart. Come back into dog down. Come back into dog down. Again, let the face just yield to gravity. Work to really lift the body out of the feet, out of the hands, and up into the hips. Let the neck hang down to the floor, let the head hang down to the floor. Okay, step your feet forwards and then come up into a standing position. Just have the inner edge of the feet together and then lift up into the chest. Just feel the lightness and the heaviness of the facial muscles as they reset into position. So sometimes I think it's really nice to just let go of the facial muscles, and then when you're upside down, like all of the facial muscles are being squashed up towards the top of the head. It's a really good way to release tension in the head. And if you've been getting headaches, then it's all, of course, tension in the head and around the neck and the chest. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Fill the lungs from the bottom to the top and empty the lungs from the top to the bottom. Keep the legs really firmly activated, tighten the kneecaps, turn the fronts of the thighs consciously inwards. Tuck the tailbone in, draw the abdomen up to the spine, draw the abdomen up to the diaphragm, up to the collarbone. Lengthen the shoulders away from your ears. Bring your arms out nice and wide, bring the arms into the chest, and then step or jump for trikonasana. Turn your left toes in, the right leg and foot all the way out, and then come down into trikonasana. Just finding that levelness, that alignment by turning the front leg from the big toe side to the little toe side, from the inner knee to the outer knee, hitting the back leg towards the floor, but towards the wall behind you. Squeeze the front leg buttock bone forwards a little. Lift up into the chest, turn the head. Turn the chest up to the ceiling, turn the head upwards. So perhaps you find that this pose clears the sinuses. Maybe not on both sides at the same time, but it will clear one of the nasal passages. And then come back to the centre. Swap the feet around, turn the right toes in, and the left leg and foot all the way out. Just make sure that this heel is in line with the instep of the back foot, and then come over to the side. So I often find that this pose is as effective as taking Sudafed, just for the clarity in the sinuses, but Sudafed's pretty harsh on the skin of the nose. But this pose really clears the nasal passages. So just be in the pose, exploring the alignment, just feeling that the head is directly over the foot. If you're not sure, have a look down. Reach up to that top hand. And then come back to the centre. Bring the feet parallel. And then step or jump your feet back together. Come back into tadasana. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Maybe observe whether the ability to breathe is any different. Just listen to the breath. Bring your arms out nice and wide in toward your chest, and then step or jump. Go as wide as you can, and then if you can do, align the edges of the back edge of the heel in line with the back edge of the mat. So nice and wide with the legs. Turn your toes in, even if you have to bend your knees to do that. So once they're turned in, then straighten the legs. Turn the legs consciously inwards. It's a bit more difficult at this stage, but when we come forwards, it will be easier. Have your hands on your hips, winging the elbows back. Lift the head, lift the chest, and then hinge at the hips. Come forwards, keeping the head lifted, and then reach down. If you can't reach the floor, then use blocks for your hands. Have your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Turn the fronts of the legs consciously inwards, the inner knees slicing them back towards the back of the room, and then feel that you can lift the seat bones. Push the legs towards the back of the room and then lengthen the spine towards the front of the room. So you might want to just stay at this stage, in which case then just keep working on the legs, keep working to extend the spine. If you want to go further, then keep the back straight, keep the head lifted as you come down, trying to draw the chin down to the floor. Bring the heels of the hands in line with the heels of the feet. And bring the top of the head down. You can use a block or a cushion underneath your head. Try not to bring the weight onto your head. Hit the thighs back so that your weight is consciously in the heels and it becomes light in the neck. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. You can reach around the outsides of your heels, pulling in against the outer heels. But again, keeping weight away from your head, keeping the weight into the heels. Lengthen the shoulders away from your ears. Either version of the pose, keep your shoulders away from your ears. Breathing in and out through the nose. Observing how this feels like it closes the nasal passages a little, but that's okay. It just allows you to breathe more deeply. And then bring your hands back onto the floor. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, lift the head. Bring the palms down onto the floor, bend your knees, and then step or jump your feet back together, and then come back into tadasana. Just come back into tadasana and just observe your balance. Observe the action of the legs. Observe the action of the tailbone, the belly button. So the legs need to stay straight, tighten the kneecaps, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, tuck the tailbone in, and then consciously lift from the abdomen up to the diaphragm, pushing the abdomen towards the spine at the same time to protect the lumbar. Draw the abdomen, the diaphragm up towards the collarbone, and then lengthen the shoulders down away from your ears. Lengthen the neck up to the ceiling like you're an arrow pointing to the sky. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Just listening to the breath. And then gently relax. Observe that as you relax, you kind of lose physical height. Just come down onto your back and into supta padottanasana. Have a blanket for underneath your head, but I want you to have it roll the blanket in a certain way, or fold the blanket in a certain way. So often we have the blanket kind of folded in like this, so that it's a kind of a cushion shape. I want you to unfold that a little, have the kind of folded end close to you and have the kind of free end at the other end, and then roll the mat into a little like a little Swiss roll. Not all the way, so you've still got space for your head, but that is going to be support for your neck. And this is really nice support for your head and your neck if you've got a headache. So just come down onto the mat, and then find that little support for your neck, and just make sure that it's in the right place. And then you're going to pull your knees, your feet towards each other, close to the seat bones, and then come into padottanasana. So you might have to just adjust a couple of times to get the bolster into the back of the head, back of the neck, sorry. The little folded blanket into the back of the head. Sorry, my words aren't coming out very well today. So just have that little fold underneath the back of the neck. It shouldn't feel like it's restricting anything. It shouldn't feel too bulky. It shouldn't feel too kind of small though. So just adjust it until it feels comfortable and supportive. And then just let the legs fall apart. Let the hands rest down onto the floor. If there's stiffness in your hips, you can put blocks on the outsides of your thighs. Otherwise, just be in supta padottanasana. Press the heels consciously together. Press the heels consciously together to create compactness in the hips. Press the outer edge of the feet consciously together. So from the heel into the little toe, feel that those are connected. So this is where we have to rely on the feeling of the pose, because we can't see our feet in this position. So you've got a mirror on the ceiling, I suppose, but we can't really see our feet, so we have to feel them. Feel the heels connecting, feel the outside edge of the feet connecting. And by pushing the heels together, you create compactness in the hips. And then you can tuck the tailbone in a little more, lengthening the tailbone away from the sacrum spine, almost lifting the tailbone up towards the ceiling, lifting the drawing the sacrum spine into kind of greater length. And then the lumbar should be soft on the floor. Draw the abdomen towards the spine. Broaden the abdomen from the belly button into the abdominal, into the sides of the abdomen. Lift from the abdomen into the diaphragm, up into the chest. So while this is commonly, well, not really that commonly, but it can be a completely passive pose, we're really working to activate it. So just feel the support of the back of the neck. Feel how the legs can work really deeply to support the physical body. And then just let the feet fall apart, let the body relax into the ground and observe the difference. Just allow the body to yield to gravity. Then draw your knees towards each other. Have your knees together and your feet apart. Just listen to the breath. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. And then just roll onto your right side. And then roll yourself up into a seated position. So we're going to stay with the roll for the head, but we're going to go up into just a restorative pose, the restorative bridge pose. So this is a little bit like setu bandha. So you're going to keep your roll, just kind of reset your roll if it's kind of released itself a little bit. So you can keep that for your head, and then you're going to come down onto the floor. Again, you just find the position for your neck, the right kind of roll for your neck. And then this time you're going to get your bolster, or if you haven't got a bolster, you can just use some cushions. And then you're going to lift the seat bones up away from the floor, and then you slide the bolster underneath the kind of middle of the back down all the way to the bottom of the back. And then just adjust, make sure everything feels like it's in a straight line. And then you're just going to keep your feet on the flat on the floor, knees bent, and then let the arms rest down into the floor. So just assess whether the roll underneath your neck is right for your neck. If it's too big, it can feel really uncomfortable at the back of the neck. If it's too small, it doesn't really do anything. So just observe how it feels and allow it to be supportive. And then, as with a restorative pose, don't consciously extend. Restorative pose is about allowing the body to release consciously into the ground. So allow the body to totally let go, to relax. You can close your eyes, but see the physical body through 3 dimensions. See it through the feeling of the pose. So the poses that we have done so far excite and ignite the energy of the physical body. They bring energy to the physical body. So let the muscles relax. Let the body relax into the floor. Feel where the bolster and the blanket supports the body. Feel the feet in contact with the floor. Just allow your body to release into the ground. Just allow the body to relax into the pose. Just giving yourself permission to relax. So restorative poses work best when you completely disengage the muscles, which can be difficult. Scan the physical body for areas of tension and allow them to relax. Push the out breath into that region if it doesn't relax. And then when you're ready, just push your feet into the floor, lift the seat bones up, and just slide the bolster out from underneath. And then just gently guide yourself back down onto the floor. Have the knees together and the feet apart. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. And then gently roll over onto your right side and then sit yourself up. Just going to cross legs for a moment. And observe how your energy has changed. Observe how the neck feels soft and supported. Okay, and then just to finish off, just bring the blanket just into a normal kind of cushion fold. Sit yourself just in cross legs for a moment, and then hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, and then very gently turn to the right side. And then come back to the centre, hold onto your knees and turn to the left. And then very gently come back to the centre. Just bring the folded blanket down onto the floor. Just try and get it so that it folds evenly, so that it's level. And then guide yourself down into a good straight line right down the centre of your mat. Have the blanket underneath the back of the neck and the head. Just move the equipment out of the way if it's in the way. And then allow body to release into the ground. Consciously unhook the muscles of the arms and the legs. And allow the body to become heavy on the floor. And out of that heaviness, observe that there is an energetic lightness that radiates from the muscle, from the bones and into the muscles. In the legs and in the arms and in the torso. Just an energy that radiates from the bones into the muscles and the organs. And the flesh and the skin. Of course, the flesh and the skin are also organs, but often when you just say the word organs, you think of the internal organs. So allow that energy to radiate into the skin. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness evenly throughout the physical body, down into the tips of the toes, into the fingertips, and up into the top of the head. basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. And then when you're ready, wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. Just bring yourself back into this pose of Sirvasana. Bend your knees, bring your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then gently roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out your top leg, come back up into a seated position. And then come into cross legs with your hands in the masti, a final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the reclining poses bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin. Spend a moment to seek to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside, and then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And very gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. Just connecting the tip of the index finger with the tip of the thumb, a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our practice. It's carry into our day. So I've been getting my words all over the place. Peacefulness that we can carry into our day. And then gently raise your head. Allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel refreshed and energized and a little looser around the head and the neck in a good way. Thank you very much for joining me.